Hey, welcome to episode number 4 of the Black Wealthy and Wise podcast, the number one podcast for helping Black families escape financial slavery and create financial freedom so they can live their best life and leave a legacy. I'm your host, Alex Jones, retired business owner, entrepreneur, and financial coach. So, today, guys, we're going to be talking a little bit about wealth. What does it mean? What does it mean anyway? Financial freedom. What does it actually mean? And how do you define it? So if you're watching this video, please put in the comments below. I love to hear how you define wealth and what does it mean to you. I hear a lot of people talk about when you bring up the subject of money, you'll have some people who will say things like, well, money isn't, all that important. Money isn't everything. Or you have people who will say, um, you know, you know, if you don't have health, you know, you can't be wealthy. Or, it's just not everything, right? Can't buy you happiness. And so I don't disagree. I don't disagree. Um, you know, we want to talk a little bit about what is wealth and what does it mean to you and what role money plays in your life. So the Bible says, um, don't the root of all evil is the love of money. The love of money. It doesn't say money is the root of all evil. It says the love of money is the root of all evil. So when you get to the place where you're willing to do anything, even if it's not ethical, it's not legal, it's not moral, it's not spiritual, then maybe you have crossed the line of loving money to the degree that you are willing to do anything to have it, anything to achieve it. And so I would say, yes, you've probably crossed a dangerous line when it gets to that place. But we all know money is important. In this material world, you must have money in order to get by, to live in this material world. And so we want to talk about how do you define wealth and what role does money play in your life? So I decided first, one good thing, let's anytime you are considering something or thinking about something, it's always good to get a clear understanding, a good clear definition of what it is that you're looking at or what you're trying to accomplish. So let's look at the definition of wealth. The definition of wealth. So it says wealth is defined as an abundance of valuable possessions or money. Wealth is an abundance of valuable possessions or money. Financial freedom. Financial freedom is having enough financial resources to pay for your living expenses and allow for many of your life goals without having to work. Without having to work. So those are two textbook definitions of wealth and financial freedom. So I said, let's take a look. Let's look at economic slavery, because one of the things I talk about, this podcast is all about helping Black families escape financial slavery, right? And create financial freedom. So we have to kind of know what that is, what that looks like, right? So let's look at economic slavery. So the textbook definition is to use one or more levers to prevent a person or group of people from realizing the American dream. That's the definition of economic slavery. Financial slavery, when you must go to work to pay debts that you owe. That's a definition of financial slavery. So, which of these best describes the life you want to live? Not the life that you currently have, but the life that you want to live. So, we want to talk about, what are some ways, what are some strategies, how is it that some people are able to get to escape a place of economic slavery, financial slavery, economic poverty, right? And how they are able to go from a a meager beginning, right? And how are they able to get to a place of being financially wealthy? And so we want to talk about that. So I I always like to ask the question, what is it that you want to accomplish? What is it that you truly want your life to look like? What do you want your life to be like? And it's really, really important that you define what's important to you. See, these are textbook examples or textbook definitions of what freedom, economic freedom looks like, but it may not be the same for you. And so I think it's very, very important that you ask yourself the question, hey, what do I want my life to look like? What do I want to be able to do with my family? What experiences do I want to have in life? Right? I think is really key to understand what's important because there have been many people who have gone on to have financial wealth, who are very wealthy, but they're not happy. And so I would say that chances are, if they worked themselves to that particular place, they probably never stopped to ask, hey, what's really, really important to me? What really gives my life meaning, value, joy, peace, and happiness? And so, if you never ask yourself those questions and you are in pursuit of followers, likes, subscribers, dollars, money, if that becomes your pursuit, then that means you have become beholden to people to give you those likes, to followers and subscribers to become followers and subscribers, for people to actually pay you money, right? And if that's where your joy comes, when you no longer have those things, guess what? Joy has just left you, or happiness has just left you. And so when people say that money can't buy you happiness, I believe that's true. But I also believe that money has the tremendous ability to do some amazing, amazing things in the world and can, in fact, create happiness for some people, depending on how you define happiness. Hey, for someone who is cured of a disease, for someone who's able to have the means to provide certain experiences or certain opportunities for their loved ones, if that's not joy, I don't know what is. If that's not being happy, I don't know what is. And so each person has to take the time to figure out what things are really most important to them. And in that instance, if those things are dependent on financial resources, now you have something that you can strive for to say, hey, I want to be able to have more money, not for having more money's sake, but I want to be able to provide and I want to be able to do and provide these things for people that I love, people that I care about. These are the causes that are important to me. And that's what brings happiness and joy. So those are textbook examples. Let's look at the 4 stages of financial independence, or it could be 4 stages, could be 5 stages, depending on what you're looking at. But the the first stage of financial independence is what they call financial solvency. Solvency, right? Financial solvency is, are you at a place where you're able to take care of the very basics? We're talking uh, food, shelter, water, right? Food, shelter, water, clothing, the very basics. Are you at a place where you can take care of those things for yourself or for your loved ones without outside help? So that first level is financial solvency. Okay. And so the next level is defined as financial stability. Financial stability. At this point, um, you are able to take care of your basic needs like gas, water, roof over your head, clothing, food, right? But you also have gotten to the place where you have, say, no consumer debt. You don't have any consumer debt. Um, how many people are at that place? How many people are at a place where they don't have any consumer debt? And so it says roughly about 75% of American households, based on my research, are in debt, still in debt. And so we want to be able to move um, from financial solvency to a level of stability where we don't have consumer debts. We don't have um, debt on credit cards, student loans, or cars, or personal loans, right? We want to be able to get rid of consumer debt. The third level of financial independence is financial security. And this is where you've reached the point where investments, right, can cover the cost of your basic living needs, your basic living needs. And so what's interesting about that is I always say to people, I always ask people, hey, how much do you think you need to retire from your job? Or how much money do you think you need to quit your job? And a lot of times people will say, oh, I need to have, especially if you have a family, you definitely want to make sure that you're able to take care of your family and your financial obligations. But people will say, I need to have 3 times my salary saved, or 5 times my salary, or 10 times my salary, right? In order for me to feel comfortable in leaving my job or quitting my job. And what's interesting about it, and this of course depends all on how you define it, what makes you happy and what makes you comfortable in life. But I would submit that if your living expenses are $4,000 a month, if you have passive income, residual income, if you have income from assets that cover your basic living expenses on a monthly basis, then you have, in essence, just bought back your freedom. You just bought back your freedom, right? And a lot of people think, like I said, you got to have 5 times your salary, 10 times your salary, you know. But if you have money saved and you have residual and passive income that comes to you every single month that takes care of your basic living expenses, then in my estimation, in this case, you have just reached financial security, right? And of course, this is all depends on how you define security. Okay. And then the next level up, level 4, is financial independence. It's where your investments support your current lifestyle and your lifestyle into the foreseeable future without having to work for any of it. Okay. So I would say financial independence and financial wealth, those things would probably be pretty synonymous. And so these are levels, guys, that we can actually get to, and you're going to see in future episodes. I'm going to be bringing other people on as well who have been able to get to a place of having financial security, so they don't have to go into work every single day, right? Don't have to go into a job, or don't have to do get up and do things every single day in order to generate money. They have other things, other assets, other passive and recurring streams of income that allows them to sustain their lifestyle without having to work, or without having to work a lot for it. Okay. So um, let's look at some of the reasons why, as African Americans, it becomes a little bit difficult. Like I said before, I talked about how some of the challenges we face are systemic, but some of the other things that we face, some of the other challenges we face, are cultural, things that we have learned from our family, from our environment, from our surroundings, which is part of our culture, right? And so I feel that part of the reason why many of us never get a chance to have financial independence or have financial security in life is because we never get a chance to see what it looks like up close. We never get a chance to see people who have actually done it and who have achieved it. Um, TV and radio, advertising, they don't necessarily normalize images or show images where many of us are in positions of financial independence or financial freedom. So it doesn't get to be something that is normalized for us, and in our minds, it becomes something that in our minds is unachievable. It becomes unachievable. And it's not until we really begin to look at and really delve in a little bit deeper where we begin to understand, hey, you know what? This is possible for me. This is possible for me. So um, I want to share with you a couple of steps, a couple of things that I did and other people I know who have created financial freedom for themselves. Here are a couple of things that they did in order to achieve that financial security or that financial stability or financial independence. So, the first thing is I want you to really, really realize that wealth is built twice. It is first built in your mind, and then is built in reality. It's built in your mind, and then it's built in reality. So the first step is starts in your mind. I want you to start to dare to dream again. I want you to create a vision for your life. What do you want your life to look like? What do you want your family life life experience to be like? What do you want them to be, do, and have in life? I want you to dream again. And dreaming is so important. Quick story, when I was a kid growing up, um, usually in September, October, sometime, the Sears catalog would come out. Maybe you guys don't remember that. The Sears catalog would come in the mail. And man, let me tell you, I was so excited. Me and my friends, man, we were so excited to get that Sears catalog in the mail. Because what would we do as kids? we would start going through the catalog and we would start looking at all the things that we wanted, right? We'll start going, ooh, ooh, man, look at that. I want that. I want that, right? We'll turn the page and it's like, ooh, man. And so we would go through this catalog and we would see all these things, right, that we wanted. And we would begin to cross them off and circle them, right? What were we doing? We were dreaming. Even as little kids, we understood the importance of that. We were dreaming. We were creating a vision of what we wanted to have, what we wanted to do, what do we want to be, what do we want to have, right? And then the next thing that we would do is the next thing I want you to do is write the vision. Write the vision. Guys, I can't tell you how important this step is. It's not just a good cliche. It's not just a good line. It's not just a good something to quote from the Bible. This has significance and meaning and purpose to it. And that's the reason why it's so important. You have to write the vision and make it plain. You have to write the vision and make it plain. So, going back as a little kid, what would we do? We would make a list of all the things that we wanted. We would put the serial number to it, right? We would put the little catalog number right next to it. And then we would even go so far as to put the price of it next to it, right? And then we'll give that list to our parents, or we'll try to give it to our parents, right? So they can buy these things that we wanted. So even as kids, we knew the importance, we knew the value first in dreaming. And then second, we knew the importance and the value of making a list, writing the vision, right? How important that was. And I can remember even as we got older, it didn't stop there. We would continue to, there might be things that we aspired to. There might have been heroes and people that we wanted to be like, right? And we would have these posters. You remember that growing up? Um, I had the red and jack lumberjack with the hat to match, the rapping duke, the ha. So you remember when Biggie talked about how he would have his posters up on the wall and how he had these idols and people that he dreamed about and dreamed to be like. And that's how we need to do with our lives. Guys, we have to go back to being kids and not forgetting that we have to dream again. Where are your posters? Get your posters out. Get your life's posters out. Make your list and make it plain. So once you do that, once you have you dare to dream, once you start writing the vision and start making it plain, once you start putting up things to remind you, your vision board, right? Now you can start asking yourself, hey, is this really important to me? Do I really, really want whatever it is that's on your vision board? That is a very, very important question. I know so many people, like we said before, people who wound up being wealthy, but they weren't happy. And it was because they never asked themselves the question, why are you doing what it is that you're doing? What's the real purpose? What's the reason behind why you're trying to get wealthy? And if there's no purpose, if there's no passion, if there are no value and no causes behind it, then chances are it's going to be pretty empty. And chances are it's not going to bring any happiness or joy or peace. So you have to ask yourself, why? Why do you want these things? What importance, what significance, what value do they have and serve in your life? Right? And once you understand, hey, what's really, really important to you, next you have to say, what are you willing to give for it? See, everything in life, there's a price for everything. There's a price for everything. whether it be money, whether it be time, it could be attention, it could be effort, it could be work, whatever it is. But usually, if there's something that you want out of life, it means that you have to put something into it. So you have to ask yourself, what are you willing to give for it? And then the next question is you have to ask, what are you willing to commit to it? See, financial independence, wealth, prosperity, abundance isn't something that generally happens overnight. Now, what I will say, it doesn't have to take decades in order to achieve it. With the right strategies, with the right tools and right goals, your financial position can change dramatically in as little as 6 months. But the question becomes, are you willing to commit to doing what's needed and necessary in order to make it happen? Are you willing to commit to do the work that's needed to make it happen? And if you are, sign it, date it, and then next, get around some people who have done it. Get around some people who can show you how to achieve it. Some people who can show you what they have done in order to make it happen. See, that is the beautiful thing about people who are wise. See, wisdom is about learning from other people's experiences. A fool has to learn the hard way all the time. So we want to be wise in our approaches. We want to be wise in how we pursue our goals because we can learn better from other people's experiences, which then allow us to do what? Get faster results, it reduces hassle, headaches. It helps us to eliminate costly errors, right? And all of those things put us in a position where we can have more time to enjoy the fruits of our labor. And that's what's really, really important. So if you happen to be right now at a place where you want to be able to have more independence, you want to be able to have more freedom, right? You want to live a better life, you want to have more options, you want to be able to leave a legacy for your family, but you don't know where to start, go to alexbjones.com/fitness. alexbjones.com/fitness, FITNESS. Go there and complete my financial assessment. It's going to help you figure out where you are in your finances and where you need to strengthen your finances in order to start creating wealth for yourself. It's the very first step to helping you start to create financial freedom for yourself. So I hope this episode helps you. Please let me hear your comments, your thoughts, your questions, your feedback in order to help make this more helpful to you and to your family. So with that, look forward to seeing you on the next episode. Take care. God bless. Be great.